It's China's answer to Monaco, and I would say it's Monaco and Bathurst meets one. I'm going to briefly talk about the Macau Grand Prix, which comes up this weekend. I hope that I'll get some chance to sit down, watch it, reflect on it, and potentially make a review for it. But it's one of those ones that, growing up, I enjoyed playing it in the race games. But what I really enjoyed about it is that, well, there is so much that can happen. You've probably seen various crashes over the years, such as the GT pile-up where they're sitting on top of each other, or the scary shunt that Sophia Flörsch had, where she took off over a curb and hit a gantry full of videographers. But honestly, it's got so much to it as a track. It's a street circuit that has a flat out part and then a tight and twisty technical bit. Walls that you want to get right up near, but you could frequently end up in. A hairpin that seems almost the inverse of the one at Monaco, but both are still downhill. Yet it's also a permanent yellow flag zone because people can get stuck. Those are the really cool things I find about this event, and the Macau Grand Prix weekend has so many different elements to it. In addition to the Macau Motorcycle Grand Prix, you have some local series, the Greater Bay Area GT Cup for GT4s, and the Road Sport Challenge and Macau SAR Establishment Cup, which are in the Toy Brews. So I think that they might be GR86s, they might be GT86s, I can't remember, and the Subaru BLZ. But the headline events, unless you are a motorcycle fan obviously, are the ones that get known as World Cup or World Championship events. For me, the standout one is the TCR World Tour event, which we are going to see a good couple of dozen entries in, and some of them are people who are season long, your Norbert Micheles, Ted Bjork, Marching War, Jan Alesher, Rob Huff is showing up as well, and then people like Esteban Guerrieri. You've got a lot of local drivers entered as well, and a variety of different cars: Hyundais, Hondas, Lincoln Co's, Audis. It's a nice varied pack with some of the most up-to-date TCR machines out there. Then the next one that we've got is the FIAFR World Cup, I would say. This is the one that people think about with past winners, including the likes of, well, if I go into the Macau Grand Prix winners list, you will see that in the past you can have people like, Roberto Moreno, Ayrton Senna, David Brabham, Michael Schumacher, David Coulthard, Ricardo Idell, Jörg Muller, Ralf Schumacher, and of course everyone's favourite Formula E driver, Dan Ticktum. Won it twice, after people like Antonio Felix da Costa had won it twice, or Ada Mortara, Felix Rosenqvist, Alex Lynn, Danny Juncadea, Lucas de Grassi. It's often seen as this kind of big thing that if you can win it, it shows that you've started to make it as a driver. Luke Browning is the reigning Grand Prix winner in the Formula Cars, and this time it's the FIA FR World Cup, so I believe that's some of the regional cars. Names you might recognise on this list include the likes of Alex Dunn, Rintaro Sato. Might also recognise a couple of other people like, for instance, Freddie Slater, or even you could recognise somebody like Rakuta Kobayashi. And the teams that are entered in are people like Prima, ART, Toms, MP Motorsport. Santaloc Racing have a couple of cars as well. And Santaloc are a great bridge into the one that's, I would say, is the most kind of prestigious in terms of who we've got here, because it's not a round of the championship, it is a World Cup event instead, which is the GT World Cup. Because we've got people like Ada Mortara and Dani Kadea, previous winners in the Formula cars. You've got people who were previously dominant in the TCRs or previously World Touring cars, so names like Augusto Farfus. And then you've got the big names that you recognise from GT racing, Engel, Gunon. You've got Van der Linde, Raffaele Marciello was the number one. There are even some interesting sidesteps as well. Ralph Aaron's there. He's Red Bull Junior, isn't he? People like Antonio Fuoco. I believe that AF Corsa have cars with a blend of different matching liveries entered the event as well. I believe I saw that on social media. But it's a fun watch. See if you get a chance to catch it over the weekend. I'm going to see if I can. In terms of local time, the qualifying is happening on the Friday, so I think it's happening around the time you might be watching this video. Then on the Saturday, you've got the Motorcycle Grand Prix race, the Road Sport Challenge, the first race for the TCR World Tour event, and the qualifying races for the GTs and the FRs. On the Sunday, we then have the GT Cup starting at 8:15 local, and then the Road Sport race at 9:35. Race 2 of the TCRs is about 11 o'clock local, and then about 12:30 local with the GT World Cup. Before the final event at 3:30 is the FIA FR World Cup. Expect these to not be definitive times, expect there to be red flags, expect there to be crashes, drama throughout. It's Macau. Let me know your thoughts, predictions, any kinds of feelings about this race in the comment section down below. And I hope to see you again soon for more. Until then, it's bye-bye for now.